have learned some of the points which is related to the nervous system, mainly in the structure of the neuron. Now we are going to discuss about the types of the different neurons. Types of neuron. Types of neuron. So due to the presence and the absence of the myelin sheath, these neurons are divided into myelinated neuron, and non-myelinated neuron. And according to the formation of the neurons, those are divided into first one, structure of the neuron. Those are unipolar neuron, and the second one is bipolar neuron, and multipolar neuron. Now, regarding to the functions of the neuron, those are divided into two types. One is three types. One is sensory, second one is interneuron, and the last one is motor neuron. These are the different types of the neurons. Now we are going to discuss about these neurons. Myelinated neuron. If the neuron axon, which is surrounded by the Schwann cells, the axoplasm of the axon, which is surrounded by the Schwann cells, that helps to formation of the myelin sheath. Those neurons are known as myelinated neurons. Simply, the axon with the Schwann cells, those neurons are known as myelinated neurons. So the Schwann cells are the oligodendrocytes that forms the myelin sheath. And coming to the non-myelinated neurons, the neurons without myelin sheath, but it has Schwann cells. So in the non-myelinated neurons, the Schwann cells are present. Schwann cells are present, but the axon without myelin sheath. Without the myelin sheath is non-myelinated neurons. See, this is myelinated neuron and non-myelinated neuron. Okay, now we are going to about the structures of the neurons. See here, in this unipolar neuron, example in the unipolar neuron, the dorsal root, soma of the dorsal root of the spinal cord is the example for the unipolar neuron. In this unipolar neuron, here, this is cell body. This cell body is divided into one part. Each part is divided into one axon and one dendrite. This type of neurons are known as unipolar neuron. We will see the unipolar neuron in the dorsal root of the spinal cord. Unipolar neuron. And the bipolar neuron, the cell body, it is divided into one dendrite, one axon. This is bipolar neuron. Examples for the bipolar neuron are the sensory neurons, mainly the retina of the eye and olfactory part of the eye. All these are the examples for the bipolar neurons. And coming to the multipolar neurons. Multipolar neurons means this is the cell body with many dendrites, but only one axon. So many dendrites with only one axon. The neurons in the cerebral cortex is the best example for the multipolar neuron. Now coming to the functions, according to the functions of the neuron. These neurons are known as, those are divided into sensory neurons, and the second one is interneurons, and the third one is motor neurons. First one, sensory neurons. We have 5 sensory organs. These sensory organs receives the impulses from outside. Eye to see, ear to hear, and tongue, and the skin. All these are the sensory organs. These sensory organs receives the impulses from outside and transmit these impulses towards the central nervous system. So here some nerves are responsible to transmit the nerve impulses from the sensory organs to the central nervous system. Those nerves are known as the sensory nerves. So the sensory nerve carries these impulses from sensory organs to central nervous system. Means the parts of the central nervous system: brain and spinal cord. Those are sensory neurons. Now coming to the motor neurons. The motor neurons carries the impulses from central nervous system to the affected organ. So the motor neurons carries the motor impulses from the central nervous system towards the organs. So it carries motor impulses from central nervous system to affected. What is the organ is respond to the particular stimulus is known as affected. Those are motor neurons. Here, these sensory impulses carries the message to the central nervous system. From the central nervous system, it carries the impulses toward the affected through the motor neurons. Between these two neurons are interpret with these interneurons. These interneurons communicate one neuron with the another neuron. Those are interneurons. Hence, the sensory neurons are called as afferent neuron. Afferent neuron carries inwards only, but the message travels one neuron to another neuron with the help of the motor neuron. So, the motor neurons are efferent neurons. These are the different. Now we are going to discuss about the nerves. See, in this nerve, this is one nerve. In this nerve, a elongated nerve cell. This elongated nerve cell, like a muscle, the elongated nerve cell is nerve fiber. This nerve fiber is surrounded by a thin connective tissue. This thin connective tissue is known as endomysium. Clear enough? So the nerve fiber which is surrounded by the thin connective tissue is known as endomysium, and a group of nerve fibers are known as fascicle or fascica. A group of nerve fibers are known as fascicle or fascica. It is surrounded by another connective tissue. This connective tissue is known as perimysium. A group of fascicles are surrounded by the perimysium, and here this is another fascicle, and this is another fascicle, this is another fascicle, this is another fascicle. All these fascicles are surrounded by a outer membrane. This membrane is epimysium. Epimysium. So this is the structure of the spine. One more topic here, that is supporting cells. The supporting cells are neuroglia that provides interconnection between the cells and also provides a microenvironment for the transmission of the nerve impulse from one place to another place here. Now we are going to discuss about the supporting cells in both central nervous system and peripheral nervous system also. The supporting cells in the central nervous system, in peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. The supporting cells in the central nervous system are, first one is oligodendrocytes, astrocytes, ependymal cells. That last one is the microglial cells. All these are ectodermal origin, but this one is mesodermal origin. Okay, na? So first one, oligodendrocytes. This oligodendrocytes forms the myelin sheath. So it is also involved for the supporting part. And astrocytes. Aster means star. The star-shaped cells that is present in between the brain cavities and the spinal cavities for the movement of the cerebrospinal fluid from the brain to the spinal cord, so that it is involved for the movement of the cerebrospinal fluid from the brain to spinal cord. That is astrocytes. Now coming to the ependymal cells. These are the cells with cilia. It is present in between the nerves and blood. So it acts as it also works for blood brain barrier. Blood and brain barriers. These are peripheral nervous system, star-shaped cell, and Schwann cells. We are going to discuss about the functions of the supporting cells in central nervous system, supporting cells in peripheral nervous system. The supporting cells in the central nervous system, oligodendrocytes, These are helps to forms the myelin sheath. Myelin sheath. And the astrocytes, those are the star-shaped cells. The star-shaped, astro means star-shaped cells. It acts as a blood and brain barriers. Blood and brain barriers, that is astrocyte cells. And coming to the ependymal cells, these ependymal cells has a cilia. With the help of the cilia, these cells are involved for the transportation of the cerebrospinal fluid between the brain and spinal cord. Spinal cord, that is ependymal cells. And coming to the microglial cells, these microglial cells are mesodermal origin. Those are phagocytic cells. These are phagocytic cells. Those are microglial cells. And coming to the peripheral nervous system supporting cells, satellite cells, Schwann cells. These satellite cells surrounds the cell body at the ganglions. And the Schwann cells, it forms the myelin sheath. See, these are the supporting cells of the nervous system.